this traffic jam, dreaming of the green pastures I once ran.
Hello again, I'm Miles DeMott, court jester, working with the boy wonder here on yet another wonderful episode of Stuck in Traffic. Today, we're fortunate to have with us the proprietor of an iconic local establishment. Iconic. I just love using words 3 times. Iconic. It's John Taylor. If you ever come into town, you will see Opie Taylor's Toy Shop. It is iconic. It's the corner. And John has joined us today. Thank you, John, for joining us.
Glad to be here.
He's agreed to be stuck in traffic, so thank you for joining us. And I'd like to start with a question. How long you been here?
About 10 minutes.
Do you like it so far?
It's been kind of fun, yeah.
Kind of like what Danny's done with the place, I guess.
Yeah. They used to store stuff up here when it was
So you remember when it was a lumber yard?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What was up here?
Junk.
So not much has changed.
Lots of boxes and
So
stuff. Yeah.
it's still junk. It's just different junk.
Yep.
So you have lived in Brevard how long?
I moved here in 82 from Sarasota, Florida.
What brought you here?
A big U-Haul, the biggest one they had.
How big was
it? And then
it?
I had a trailer behind that, too.
That's a lot of U-Haul.
Yeah, and then my wife drove the Porsche behind that. So
She got the best end of that deal.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be stuck in a Porsche for 12 and a half hours.
For what reasons did you drive from Sarasota to Brevard?
To live here.
Why did you choose here?
Oh, well, my parents put me on an Amtrak train in 1965 in Tampa, Florida, and I rode up here to go to camp.
Which camp?
Camp Greenville.
Camp Green.
Yeah, and they never came to get me, so pretty much been here ever since.
Did they move?
Yeah, as soon as I left, they switched.
And I'm assuming they didn't tell you where either.
No. Actually, we still own the house that I grew up in. So.
Did they leave a note on the door, or when you finally made your way back, or no?
Yeah, no. Back in those days, though, we'd come home from school. We lived on an island. We had a Boston whaler, and we'd come home from school on a Friday night, put a note on the phone, which was always in the kitchen.
Right.
There was only one. Had a really long cord on it, though. And just say, went camping, be back Sunday. And my parents had no idea where we were Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. We'd come home all dirty and smelling like smoke and had a great time.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
It was the best of times, man. We explored every island that was out there, little spoil islands and stuff.
So as an iconic proprietor, how long have you worn the propeller hat?
36 years. Yeah. I wish I could take credit for it, but I was in New York for my first toy fair 36 years ago and went by FAO Schwartz.
Oh, yeah. When it was still across
when it
from
was
the
still
plaza.
a very cool store. It got very corporate after, and then, of course, 3 bankruptcies later, it's not
Those
the same.
don't help.
No. People compare me to FAO all the time, the old one, but I said, I haven't filed bankruptcy yet. So
The day is young yet.
I've got plenty of time. I go through money like it's crazy. But so I went to FAO Schwartz and was looking around and saw a hat like this with a propeller on it. So I bought it and I wore it home on the airplane, and the flight attendants paid really close attention to me.
I bet they did.
And they wouldn't normally, because I'm pretty average looking, I think. And so I thought, this is it. This is the gimmick. I'm going to do this. So inside the hat is the phone number of who made the hat. So I called them, and the rest is history. We've sold probably 7,000 of these hats in the last 35 years. So it's part of the deal. It's on all our logos and everything. So
You've obviously enjoyed the toy business.
yeah, it's been fun. It beats working.
So it was not your first venture in town, from what I understand.
I've done a lot of different things in town. When we moved here in 82, we opened a restaurant. If you're familiar with Brevard, it's where the Wild Morel is now.
Right.
We own that and the building next door where the Bohemian is now.
Right.
And we had a killer restaurant called Oh Susanna's, and it was all done in a Stephen Foster theme, and had a player piano and played Stephen Foster music.
Did you sing?
I do not. Yeah, I mean, I can sing,
But you didn't sing in
you wouldn't want to hear it.
Okay.
Dr. Leffler would come in and sit down and pound stuff out on the piano and sing.
So it was dinner and a show, kind of what
it was kind of fun. Yeah, we had bluegrass band on Friday nights, stuff like that.
Closest you could get to a cabaret in Brevard.
Yes, when it was a dry county.
So you were instrumental, apparently, in not necessarily skirting the law, but certainly interpreting it. And that's the part that I've always heard that's really interesting.
I thought it was kind of interesting. There was a statute on the city books, and of course, the county was completely dry, but the city had said no beer or liquor, but they didn't include wine in the law. And so I got a state wine license, and they couldn't stop me from serving wine because there wasn't a law against it. It doesn't fall into beer or liquor categories. So we served wine, basically, is what it amounted to. Then in I think it was 91.
The county gave up.
A friend of mine and I decided we should get liquor by the drink on a ballot so people could vote on it one way or the other, whether you're for liquor by the drink or against it. We went to city council. Of course, they said it was suicide to put a referendum out for liquor by the drink. It'd be political suicide. So we had to get a third of the registered voters to sign a petition to have it put on a ballot. And we weren't really, we knew there'd be opposition, of course, but we weren't ready for the opposition that we got. But to make a long story short, it was an ugly process. But when we finally voted on liquor by the drink, it passed by 68%. So.
Wow!
So, when you go out to dinner, whether you have a drink or not, you can thank me.
And I think most people do. So how does one get from liquor magnate to toy tycoon?
I'm not a liquor magnate.
To toy tycoon. I mean, how does that?
We bought the building where Opie Taylor's is in 1987, and again, we're in the restaurant business. No kids, making plenty of money, working all the time. Never spent a nickel because we couldn't. We just working all the time.
Right.
So we started buying buildings up downtown, and we bought 1 West Main Street, which is where Opie Taylor's is, and renovated it. And as soon as I told the tenants what the new rent was going to be after I got done renovating it, they all scattered.
Yeah.
And then that was 1988, and there was a recession in 88, and they just finished the Walmart shopping center. So Belk's department store, the shoe store, the sporting goods store, everything moved out to the Walmart shopping center and left downtown a ghost town.
Right.
And so I thought, I better do something. So we put Opie Taylor's in there to get things cranking, man.
So I'm just curious, how does one come to the conclusion, since Walmart has just opened up, how does one come to the conclusion that a toy store is the
brilliant
ticket?
idea?
Yeah.
We started out as an outfitting store. We had Columbia, Patagonia, boots and hiking gear, tents and backpacks and stuff like that. And one day a lady was trying on clothes, and there was a gap under the door, like a lot of try-on places have. And her kid snuck out under the door and headed for the front door, and she came running after him in her bra and panties and said, "Stop my kid," and so we grabbed him before he got out on the street. And I thought, we should have toys
that keeps the kids
keep the kids busy
occupied
while mom's trying on clothes. That's how it all started, basically. I'd like to thank her, but I don't know who she was. So
that's probably best. She probably is glad you don't remember her either.
She was very attractive. I just remember that. But anyway, I had no desire to be in the retail business. I had a manager that managed the place for me, and I was still in the restaurant business when we opened Opie Taylor's, and I was piddling with my cars. I build Jaguars, XKEs, and so I was doing that and just having a great time. And then my manager quit, so I thought, well, I'll just go in and fill in until I find a new manager. So 35 years later, I'm still looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't found anybody that does it like I do it. You know what I mean?
Is there really a difference between toys and Jaguars?
Nothing.
It's the same thing. They're toys. I mean, it's.
I like the free piped in music you got here too.
Well, We pay extra for that.
Do you?
Yeah, we
it's
do.
live too.
It's the soundtrack. What do you think so far?
It's good. It's
Yeah,
really good.
it's really thumping.
You need everybody needs a theme song.
Yeah, that's ours. So if you're not in the music business, somebody down there is, but you're not in the music business. But if you had to come up with a theme song for Brevard, what would it be?
Down by the water hole.
Really?
Yeah.
Why there? Why
Why?
that?
It's the iconic whistling tune on the Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
So why not?
Why not? Especially from a
don't
man who
know.
owns Opie Taylor's.
That's a good question.
So that's a roundabout way of
Now you-
asking why here? You moved here.
Oh, yeah,
You've
yeah.
been successful.
Yeah.
You've stayed here.
Our idea for the restaurant wouldn't have worked in Sarasota, Florida. It would have gotten swallowed up. There's just too many restaurants down there, and there wasn't anything up here at the time. The Wedge and Keg was the only place you could get lunch, and they were screaming busy. So we figured, even if we cut into a little of their business, they wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
So
Are you still in the restaurant business at all?
no.
Just the real estate business.
Last adventure was when I bought the bowling alley.
How did that go?
It's interesting.
Where is the bowling alley? I'm not even
bowling-
sure I've seen it.
It's where the new Ace Hardware store is on 64.
Okay.
That was the bowling alley.
That was the bowling alley.
And when I bought it, it was the complete package. It had illegal gambling. Smoke was down to here. It had a resident hooker, drugs, anything. It's like an old-fashioned bowling alley.
Why does a business like that, why does it not exist? I mean, that sounds like the perfect business to me.
They are making a ton of money, I guess. But I got rid of all that, and tried to make it a family.
Yeah, right.
Place,
Yeah.
So it killed me, because, anyway, and we cleaned it up, and then a gentleman came by and liked what we had done and said, I want to buy your bowling alley. I said, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been really fortunate about that. Everything I've sold real estate wise and automobile wise
Has made a little money.
Yeah, and people come to me. They're like, "Gee, I really like your Pantera. I'd like to buy it." Okay,
Because that just frees you up to get another one or something
Yeah.
else like that.
something. Yeah,
Another toy.
yeah. I like cars. Cars are fun.
And watching you describe all this, it's fascinating because, again, there's really no substantive difference between the larger than life Star Wars thing you've got in the window. I don't even know what it is.
AT-AT.
Right.
And the Millennium Falcon.
Millennium, whatever those things are. Right.
Yeah.
So there's really no difference between that and an XKE. It's just an old Jaguar is a toy. I mean, it's a high maintenance and it's a wonderful machine. Did British Leyland make those? Who makes those old Jaguars?
British Leyland came along in the 60s, but Jaguar was already building Jaguars. Yeah. So
I used to have I had an MG that
that was Morris Garage. That's what MG stands for.
I had a Morris Garage, and it was positive ground or negative ground or something. The whole electrical system was backwards.
Yep.
And it was really
Yeah, you hook up a jumper cable and fry yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun.
So. All right. So you've been successful. You opened restaurants here, and you stayed.
Yeah.
Why? You raised a family here.
Have you looked around?
I have.
How long
I
have you
have
been
my
here?
answer. I have my answer. I'm asking. I mean,
You came from Greenland?
I'm asking you for years. No, I lived in Alabama for 30 years. That's a whole nother story.
Okay. Well, the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains,
Right.
Appalachian Trail, 6,000 miles of hiking and biking trails, the Brevard Music Center all summer, the Brevard College in the in the spring, the seniors have to do a recital in order to fulfill their obligation for their music degree.
Right.
So there's free concerts almost every night. Just the atmosphere in Brevard is amazing. It's just amazing. The people are genuine and nice for the most part, and it's just the perfect place to live. Did you read Dr. Seuss's My Nest is Best?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they went looking all over the world. When we sold our restaurant, I could have lived anywhere. But we looked around and thought, no, this is it. This is where we want to be. This is the perfect place in the world to live, I think.
You say the people are nice, which I appreciate since I'm one of the people. Unpack that one. What makes the people? Because that's one of the things
It's the
I've
quality
noticed.
of life,
Right.
You know, there's
Tell me more about that.
wow. There's just so much to do and ways to have fun, stay healthy. We're fortunate to have like the Brevard Racket Club, which is a great place for tennis and pickleball, swimming. They have an outdoor Olympic pool and an indoor, and I mean that's an awesome little club.
So you've stayed active all these years too, obviously, because you're very fit.
I don't know about that, but
It was a polite
that was a
gesture.
joke. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, I chase tennis balls. I'm like a 18-year-old Labrador Retriever with arthritis. I really want to lay around the couch all day, but man, you throw a tennis ball out there, I'm going to go get it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you explained that. I thought you said you really like to wear a collar and be pulled around by a leash, but
wouldn't
that's
be
not
bad,
where you're going.
depending-
So
yeah.
but I really thought that's where
Susie
you were
never
going
really
with it.
got into that. Yeah.
So the restaurant business has been good. The toy business has been extraordinary. Again, it's an iconic destination.
Yeah, we
Everybody I live in Brevard. Isn't that the place with the toy store? Yeah, that's the place with the toy store.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always usually say, isn't that the weird guy with the propeller? Yeah, it's the weird guy with the propeller hat. So what if since you are the Chamber of Commerce and you've been here, I mean, you and Mike at Falls Landing are probably the oldest, not oldest because you're not a day over 37, but the longest lasting commercial ventures.
I remember when Mike came here looking at that building, we went up on the roof of Opie Taylor's and sat on the roof and just shot the breeze. And he came from St. John,
Right.
in the Virgin Islands. And he had a successful restaurant there and moved here. Why? Quality of life.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask him the same question.
He wanted to raise his kids here because we have a fantastic school system.
Right.
And he wanted to raise his family here, and that's why he moved here. I mean, it wasn't an accident. We do have fantastic schools. I think public
Right.
schools
Right.
are great. Again, we attract really good teachers, quality of life,
Right.
and they want to stay here, and they do a great job, and because a stronger percentage of people that live here are retired, they're not putting a strain on the school system, but they are paying the
Property
taxes,
taxes,
that
yeah.
are going into the school system, and so the classes are small, and it's great. It's like going to private school and not paying for it.
Interesting way to put that. So as a robust member of the Chamber of Commerce, which I don't even know if you remember, I'm not even sure if there's a Chamber of Commerce. You're looking out on the economic landscape. What would you, and I give you a magic wand, and it'll be a green magic wand to match the propeller blades, and you could wave it. What would you bring to town that would add? What businesses? What would you bring? What economic forces would you bring to play on this town?
The first thing I'd do is put a carousel next to the barber shop across from the movie theater.
Oh, in the blank space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't you find one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Can't you buy the dirt?
The boys would probably sell it to me, Ricky and Randy.
Oh, they own the dirt too?
They own the corner there.
Yeah.
But, I just think it would add a lot to the downtown, to the feeling,
Yeah.
that hometown feeling, and, you can pick one of those up for about $350,000 for a hydraulic one. You don't want an old school one. And I just think it would look beautiful down there. And then John Nichols, he's put lights around the top of his buildings,
Right.
equal intervals. I love that. I want to do that. I'm going to do that to my building. When you at night when you get off the train at Disney World and you're standing up on the platform and you're looking down Main Street, how it's all lit up.
It's lit up, yeah.
Yeah, I see. They've had 1 million groups get together, and we're going to plan for the future. Like there was a group called 2020. Well, we didn't. That was 20 years ago, and we didn't follow through on that little plan. But they said, bring a picture of what you think downtown Brevard should look like. And I took a picture of downtown Disney. I just like the incandescent lights and just the way it looks. It's very friendly,
But I like you
It's
mentioned
dark downtown at night.
it is. Well, it gets dark and vacant. So it's the sidewalks kind of roll up at about 8:30.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we need to bring
But you remember the demographics of the area. A lot of retired people.
right. But
Yeah, as soon as Wheel of Fortune's over, man, they're toast. You know.
they're no longer looking to buy a vowel. They just, unless it's zzz. Anyway. So what can we bring to Brevard to attract more young families? What economic forces can we put in play other than a carousel? What do we need without growing it to be another Asheville necessarily? But Asheville's great. Don't get me wrong. But what do we need?
Yeah, you got to be careful because you don't want to turn into a Gatlinburg either.
Right.
You know, although what we definitely need is a parking garage downtown.
Parking is abysmal this time of year.
When they took 22 parking spaces away from us for the weed planters, I mean the beautiful planters they put in, that hurt a lot. I just was talking to my banker and they said, why do you see a dip in sales from 2023? And I said, parking.
Right.
You know, and again, demographics, the older people, they're not gonna park 6 blocks away and walk in.
Right.
They want to park right in front of the store that they want to shop in and get the grandkids, something really cool.
So you mentioned the planning process 2020 that was done. So is there another one underway, and are you participating in that process?
It doesn't seem like there's a lot of future planning going on right now.
How do we fix that?
That I've seen. The heart of Brevard needs to step up. I think, we voted that in on ourselves, a special tax district, so that we could try to keep the downtown businesses focused on going forward. And they offer facade grants and stuff, and we get no money from the government. It's all funded through our self tax
Right.
Base or whatever. But the Heart of Brevard, I think, would do well in getting involved in what they think the future should look like. But again, it seems like it's very complacent. People get together and say, "Oh, this is what we need to do. We need to improve the infrastructure. We need to do this, and to plan for the future." And then it's like, after you leave the meeting,
Right. Everybody's got other stuff going on.
Do you have your notes? No, I lost them. Yeah, whatever. So I don't know. It's very complacent. Everything seems to be a knee-jerk reaction rather than a thoughtful planning process to me. But I kind of gave up on it, to be honest with you. I'm one of those complacent people. It's like, whatever happens at this point. I'm too old to change things. Although we did change some stuff at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it seems to me that's my objective opinion, is that planning, it should be, that's why I'm saying, how do we get more young people in that will make the same sort of decisions you made as a young person, and investing into the process and all that sort of stuff? Because you're right, retirees are they're going to pay their taxes and all that, but they're taking river cruises. They're doing other stuff.
Yeah,
they're just, fixing.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, fixing mine too. I'm gonna do that next year, I think. But the tending the garden is not so much their thing now. They're doing other stuff. So we need young people in that look around and say, and they're gonna plant trees, the shade of which they will not enjoy. And
then we, my wife and I, try to provide as much affordable housing as we can to the working class stiffs like ourselves, and so we hold quite a bit of property and rent it at really affordable rates, and that's a problem. Is if you get somebody fresh out of college paying a student loan into Brevard, how are they going to make a living and thrive when the cost of living is a little high here?
Right. And their student loan payments are the equivalent of a mortgage payment almost. It's just tough to do it. It's not even feasible. So it's interesting that you do that. That was one of my other questions. How do we, and since you're a toy magnate or a toy tycoon and a real estate magnate,
I'm just a big kid, man.
Yeah. So are we all? So how do we fix that? And because I have one of my day jobs is building and developing workforce housing. So it seems to me that this is, along with all the other markets along the Western Plateau, are desperately needing workforce
Right,
housing,
right.
affordable housing too, but also workforce housing.
But look what they're claiming. I mean, they just built a bunch of new townhouses in town, and they're attractive, but they start at $450,000.
Yeah, hardly a starter home price.
That's I mean, 5 years ago, I was buying shorts and foreclosures really right. They were $50,000-$60,000 for a 3-bedroom home with hardwood floors in the city limits, and now that same house is $400,000 and for a fixer upper, you
Right.
know, and
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know how to change that.
I don't think you
It's
get
just
that genie back in the bottle. That's why I'm saying I don't know how that.
we careful what you create. I'm like, yay,
Right. And
I bought
you-
all that property right. Now I'm sitting on a pile of property that is
It's
ridiculous.
appreciated.
Yeah, we paid $100,000 for OP Taylors.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll give you 125 for it right now.
you give me the tax rate, I'll walk. it's at 1.4 million.
No, I'm going to stop at 120. I'll give you 130 is about all I
130?
could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you're a beneficiary, and yet you want to do the right thing and offer up and try to fix the housing issue. And it's not just Brevard. It's not even the Western Plateau. It's a national issue, I think. But in a lot of ways, Brevard has an opportunity to be at the leading edge of experimenting with that and doing things differently, I think.
Yeah.
But that takes planning and that takes investment from a lot of people and sacrifice from a lot of people to make the right thing happen. And that really is planting trees, the shade of which you will never enjoy. Because you've got to, in order for it to be the right place 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you got to make decisions now that are going to run counter to what everybody else is doing, it seems.
Right.
I call it we've talked about this on the podcast before. I call it the gulch, which is the lot going down the hill behind the courthouse.
Yeah.
I call it the gulch. But
That's where the
thing was
ideal
supposed to
place
go.
for a parking garage would be.
right. And
if I might, they want to build a $46 million courthouse out at the Justice Center. And I think instead of spending that money on that, they say it's not safe getting prisoners in and out of the courthouse, but they only use the courthouse once a week on Thursdays, for court.
right.
Okay. So why not build a parking garage right behind the courthouse?
Right.
And have a special caged thing where you pull in and
Yeah.
walk the prisoner in the back door of the courthouse. You could do that for a lot less than $46 million.
Yeah, you've penciled that out. I think I'm doing that math in my head, and I think you're right. You could do that for a lot less than $46 million.
And it would
Solve the issue too.
all kinds of issues, solve the parking problem downtown.
And then you got the air rights above that, and you could build reasonably something above that would solve a housing problem or a hotel
And have a view.
and have a so there are lots of ways to skin that cat. But again, those are the sorts of things, because when I first moved here a year and a half ago, they still had the banners up for camper, city camper, or whatever the development at that point was going to be called. And I don't know the owner of that dirt. I don't know the plans for that. I know it keeps coming up in conversation, so I know it's still in process. But
There's some hurdles that an artesian well or a river that runs through the property underground, which was a problem, and there's and then COVID changed everything.
right, and now everything costs 3 times as much, and the deal probably doesn't make sense. And
It doesn't. Yeah,
And-
it's
and
not
so-
cost effective.
right, so let's
build
all
that.
right. Well, let's circle the wagons and come up with a better idea and offer the guy that owns it an out
Yeah, there you go.
and make something happen there. So I don't call it the Gulch anymore.
You can call it Brevard Parking Garage would be great.
Yeah, city parking, something. Any other ideas that we should do or think about?
I don't know. I've got a million ideas in my head, but I don't know if we need to jump on it right now. I kind of like things the way they are downtown. All the buildings are full. There's an interesting mix of retail, restaurants, and stuff. Good places to eat.
Right.
people ask me at the store all the time, where's a good place to eat? And I said, anywhere. All the crappy places went out of business, you know? So
It's a good response.
Just pick a restaurant. It depends,
Yeah.
depends on what you want, you know? Yeah. So I kind of like the way it's going.
Would you be a part of the planning process if we could circle the wagons?
Oh, I mean, I'd sit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to devote the rest of my life to it.
No,
But,
no,
but
neither am I.
I'm a once a monther. I mean, show up and put my 2 cents worth in. But like I said, I don't know really if anybody's looking at that now, the planning department or the city, I'm sure they're planning for the
Something.
short-term future, but I don't know if they have an overall plan to turn this into downtown Disney. Wouldn't that look cool though?
It really would, with a carousel.
The carousel, I don't know. I just think that would be awesome.
Well, I think we should call it the John Taylor Carousel, funded by John Taylor.
Yeah, well, we'd definitely fund it, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no
Anything you'd
problem.
like to add?
No, this was fun.
You are a fixture, and you're still young, so 37 years old, and you're already a fixture, and that's a wonderful thing, and you bring such joy.
We've been so blessed at Opie Taylor's in the way it's evolved, and the respect we have in our community of the toy store owners and manufacturers. We're top 10 toy store in the world, USA Today. We were the Lego Retailer of the Year. We're the Melissa and Doug Retailer of the Year. So we've and Brio. We were Brio Retailer of the Year. They gave us a 2-week trip to Sweden. Just putz around Sweden for 2 weeks on their tab. It was.
You really are living your best life.
Oh yeah, it doesn't get any better than this, man.
Huh.
Yeah.
And you are a genuinely happy fella.
It takes just as long to be happy as it does to be unhappy. You're going to waste the same amount of time. So you might as well be in everybody's face.
Happy about it. Yeah.
Happy all the time. Yeah, man. Why not?
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
It's all about attitude, right?
It is. And thanks for spreading the joy. This has been really fun. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And that's been John Taylor joining us for, Stuck in Traffic, which is hard to do in Brevard. And he's at the corner of Main Street, an iconic destination, Opie Taylor's Toy Shop. So join us next time when we'll have another wonderful guest. Thanks for joining us this time, and thanks for getting stuck in traffic.
Oh, I'm stuck here in this traffic jam, dreaming of the green pastures I once ran. The road ahead's a snail's slow dance. This highway's robbed me of my chance.